This one is a very sad news. Funke Akindele loses dad. Nigerian actress Funke Akindele-Bello is currently grieving as she just lost her dad, Reverend G.O Akindele. She made the announcement of his passing on our Instagram page, where she shared a picture of her and her dad with the caption, "Dad, may your soul rest in peace. I tried, Dad. I did. We love you, but God knows best." With a caption, "I wish I can turn back the hands of time." Our hearts go out to Funke Akindele and her family at this time.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's a sad occasion, but I believe that he should have, been well into his age, into his prime, so probably to come out as a celebration, but definitely initially it's still a gloss.
So there is nothing as such, actually, because I used to work somewhere and we used to cover a lot of events, and a writer was going to write about somebody's mom's passing, and so because the person was like 80 or 90, so the person says a celebration, and all that.
Celebration of life.
No, not celebration, but it's a celebration, and so our boss had to correct that person that we are actually not, we are, our hearts go out to this person, and you shouldn't put that word like, oh, because the person was like, oh, the person is old and all that. But it is that person's mother. So you'll be surprised that no matter how old you are, maybe 80, and then your mother or your father passes on at 120. That person, you're still the child, so you know how you feel. Definitely. So other people are like,
I think it's about perspective, because I've also been to my friend's mom's passing, and the whole family decided to take it as a celebration. Everybody was there dancing. So some people take it that way, and some people, but at the end of the day, as you said, this is her father, and it's a sad one as such. So we're just going to put our prayers and love and light.
It's just crazy, and we saw her on Sunday at the premiere of a movie, and all of a sudden on Monday this is happening.
Wow.
Yeah. We commiserate with them.
Honestly. All right, moving on to some more news. Hard drugs found at the scene of Juice WRLD's death. Now, following the death of American rapper Juice WRLD, reports in the New York Times have revealed more details of the circumstances surrounding his death. According to reports, Juice WRLD's private plane was targeted by law enforcement as they received information that guns and drugs might be on board. Chicago police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi told reporters that during the search of the plane and questioning of the occupants, which included Juice WRLD, the rapper, he began convulsing and was then taken to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead. Police reports state that the plane was carrying 70 pounds of marijuana and 6 bottles of codeine cough syrup, as well as 2 9mm pistols, 40mm caliber pistol, and other ammunition. According to reports, 2 members of Juice WRLD's security team were charged with misdemeanors for gun and ammunition possession. The actual cause of the death of Juice WRLD has, however, not been disclosed yet. I mean, we started off the story yesterday where we talked about him passing and how we had no information on what happened. And I remember saying that one thing I would say to young people out there who feel like, life is just here for you, and you feel like you're not taking your health seriously, you're not going for medical checkup, you're not eating right, you're not dieting right, you're not exercising right. I had it at the back of my mind that there might have been some sort of influence involved, although we haven't still got reports yet. But there's something called the fast life that a lot of celebrities, especially musicians, are involved in, that usually involves drugs, usually involves overdose of drugs or abuse of drugs. I'm not saying that's what happened. And I'm just saying that I feel like this is a wake-up call again. It's very, very sad that you don't have to do music and be involved with all these things.
Drugs.
Okay, so I already saw it online, although it is not confirmed, but people were already talking about, oh, guys, stop doing drugs, because they brought out like some 4 names and they said they died in their prime. And they're like, oh, no, don't do this, because every one of them was just associated with drugs. And I've done a show on this before, artists and drugs. And one of the reasons they say they take drugs, because they say some of them are shy, and then when they want to perform,
it gives them confidence.
It gives them confidence and all that. But I think that, and then some people have the belief believe that you can't do deep songs without taking drugs because you get inspiration
to be in
from
a vibe.
Oh, yes, you get inspiration from this. But when you look at the side effect of all of this at the end of today, why do you do it at the end of the day when you don't have your life?
There are some musicians that are doing it without drugs and are being very, very successful.
In fact, I'm always talking about the late Lucky Dube. Lucky Dube did reggae, and you know how reggae comes with a lot of messages, and he never did drug, he never drank. I mean, how about that? How about, looking at someone like that and then let that person be your inspiration at the end of today?
It's just a crazy situation. Like when Amanda was taking the news and what I saw, like they were searching, they were doing the search. And I guess from fear and everything, it just kicked in and it started convulsing and being rushed. I saw pictures and I was seeing marijuana like stashed in bags.
You know,
and I'm
sometimes
like,
it's even a combination of various drugs. You know, the other day I was speaking to a 20-year-old who was telling me the type of medicated drugs to take that had remnants of cocaine inside of it, and she felt very happy about this discovery, about this information that she was giving me. And I was just looking at her. She was like, "Man, I got the plug." I was like, no, you
ain't got no plug.
You don't know what is going on. So like that's the reason why I keep reiterating that it seems cool. It seems like everybody is doing it, but it's not even the side effects. The futuristic effects for you, it's for a whole lifetime.
Look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is always having seizures.
Lil Wayne has had seizures on the plane. Rick Ross has had seizures.
I just say a prayer every time for him in my mind. Like, no, don't go that route. No.
All right.
It's a crazy situation. Okay, leaving that crazy news, moving on to something very exciting. Cassie gives birth to her first child with Alex Fine. Yes, newly married couple Cassie and her husband, Alex Fine, have welcomed their first child, a baby girl. According to sources, the couple welcomed their baby girl, who has already been christened Funke Fine, on Friday. Yes, if you would recall, the new parents announced that they were expecting in June, shortly before announcing their engagement in August and wedding in Malibu the following month. In case you do not know, 33-year-old Cassie began dating a 26-year-old physical trainer and bull rider Boo in 2018 after ending a decade-long relationship with Sean Diddy Combs.
So I like
every time we talk about this story, we must infuse
Funke Fine on Friday.
Yes, Funke Fine was born on Friday.
This is fantastic news. In fact, this is one of the best things I've heard this month. I'm super happy for Cassie. Congratulations to her, first of all. Cassie, you just send me a DM, okay? Let's talk.
Wow, you're sending a gift to the baby?
Yeah, let me send you a gift. Okay, jokes aside, I'm really excited about this with Cassie because I know that the whole decade-long relationship with Diddy was almost like a mockery to her. People kept using it to make fun of her and say,
you sure?
Yes, a lot of people were making fun of her. And I hope that as she has the baby as well, I would be very pleasantly excited and surprised if she goes back to doing music as well. That would make my year.
So Diddy is the bad guy now?
Yeah.
Diddy's a boyfriend.
So the thing is, people have different journeys. I wouldn't say Diddy is particularly bad.
I'll say
people have different journeys. So some people don't want to. And when you're even with that person, it might even be that it is just an understanding. You don't want to.
But Diddy has a track record
of
that we cannot even neglect. His track record of women.
Okay.
He never marries any of the women.
So if he doesn't want to marry in his life, and you get into his life, and
why are you staying there that long?
So how do you get out? Dating another person and eventually get married to the person.
Okay, so you don't want to get married to the person, but you have a 10-year relationship with them. You're tying their life down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they can't go away from the relationship.
Yes,
We'll tie them down.
She's there too, so you can actually walk away.
Bye-bye to your boyfriend.
She was patiently waiting for a time where Diddy
women always feel like the man is going to change. I mean, with time. You might start off feeling like, okay, I can do this. I don't need any attachment. But 10 years, trust me, it has crossed her mind like at least 5 times.
So you see
that
how
she wanted some sort of commitment.
You see how they talk about how men and women think differently. And this is it. So I have said it over and over from what I've seen from my study. So I'll say to you that, see, a woman can be in a relationship and still be expecting 10 years and be crying out, spend 10 years, 15 years. See, a guy, when he's ready to get married, tomorrow, it might not even be you that has been with him for 10 years. He goes out like they're selling that woman and then gets married to the person he wants to get married to.
I completely agree with you, which is why I said, why waste the person's time?
So why would the person stay too? The person should wake up.
You see,
You're not even supporting us.
You see, I'm just
here.
here.
I'm just saying.
I'm just here and they're arguing right there. But anyways,
right.
massive congratulations to Cassandra Ventura.
Okay.
Hopefully.
You know her like one-on-one because you like to call her full name.
Of course, we talk to her.
Oh, wow. Regularly, right?
Can I show you my DM?
And that's why you're sending some gifts to the baby.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, gifts for me.
By the way, did you gift Cardi B anything? Like,
No, they're not cool. They're not cool like that.
Oh, they're not cool like that. Okay.
I'm still a fan of that one. Okay, so massive congratulations to her. I'm really happy about the fact that she has a baby, and she's very happy as well. I'm happy about the fact that she's happy. That's something to also note.
Yeah.